Hello. Now a couple of people have emailed me in and asked me how to take up a dress. It just so happens I have a dress here that's too long. So that is what I'm going to show you today, how to take up a long dress. Right, here's the dress in question, absolutely gorgeous, but it's too long because I'm so short. So you need another pair of hands to help you do this properly. So you need to try the dress on with the shoes that you're going to wear, and then you need someone to pin the dress up for you so that you get the right length that you want. And generally it's about 1 inch from the floor, but you'll know that. You need to walk in it. Try walking, swinging, stepping backwards and being sure you're not going to get caught up in the hem. So get the length, and to do that you need another pair of hands. Right, I've had the dress pinned up for me. I popped it on a mannequin just so it's easy for you to see what's going on. You will see that it needs that much, needs cutting off all the way around. That is my bottom edge. So I need to cut it just up from the bottom edge. So that's what I'm going to do now. Bearing in mind you've had someone pin it up and then they can work out exactly where the length should be. If, for example, when you come to look at it, it is slightly more one side than the other, don't worry too much if the hem doesn't look completely even. In this case it's perfect, but sometimes when dresses are made they might not be. But if you want to double check, this is the middle back, and what I've done here is laid the middle back, this is the side seam, on top of one another and laid them on top, and you can see that is a mirror. So when it's on me, it will be the same length either side at the back, and I will do exactly the same with the front. So there's no way it's going up slightly on the left or on the right. You can, if you want to, if you've got a waistband, double check that again and measure that length from there with that length from there. If you've got a waistband, that's nice and easy to do. That way you're just double checking everything before you cut it off. But at the end of the day, you've just got to go with the eye, and if that's the length, it's been pinned up and it looks all right, try and ignore it if it's slightly different as you're hemming. Now the dreaded task of cutting it and where to cut it. You'll see from the original hem, it's a very small 1/2 inch hem, and what they've done is they've overlocked it, or a simple zigzag stitch will do, and then they've sewn it as close to the edge as they can. So now the way I'm going to do that is to get that edge there that I know where to cut it. I'm going to press it into place. So you just damp a cloth down, warm iron, be very, very careful. Just use a little bit that you know isn't going to matter if you mark it, and just check the heat of your iron before you do this. But if you're going through some fabric like this, you just press down, create the, can you hear that steaming? Create the crease, but it's still very hard to see that crease. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add to that by putting a pin around that bottom edge. You can use tailor's chalk if you want to for that bottom edge. So it's really a case of personal choice. But I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to get this cut off now. So that's my edge, I mustn't go, and I'm going to cut it 1/2 inch up, enough room to overlock it, or I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch. So just to cut across, so I need to cut that much off. So I'm cutting the same amount off all the way around, but I'm not going from this edge, I'm going from this edge because I've checked it several times to make sure it's the right length, and you can see it wavers up a little bit. This is cut on an A-line, so there's a lot of material, so because it's rounded like that, you can't have a big hem. Some other dresses you could have a bigger hem on, you wouldn't need to worry, but if you have too big a hem on this and try and fold it up, you're going to get lots of bunching in the corners and it won't hang right. Okay, now I've had a cutting. I've come down the edge here of the seam on this bit. Be very, very, very careful you don't catch your dress underneath, and you're going to very gently, I've marked it, I've pressed it, and I'm going to come along here and just keep a close eye that I've got the same distance all the way along. You can mark it with tailor's chalk if you want to. I'm not going to do that, but there you are. Now that's ready now to overlock and then just sew down there. Right, I've decided to go for a simple zigzag switch on my...
Switch?
I've decided to go for a simple zigzag stitch on this, and I tested out what stitch I wanted to have on the raw edge on the bit of material I cut off. So I suggest you do that and just get the right stitch that you want. The reason this has been tricky is because it's quite elasticated, so it has been a bit tricky to try and get that nice edge. So if you look here, you can see there's my zigzag stitch, okay, and then when that's done, I've been all the way around, obviously, I'm now folded that over as small a hem as you can, and then you're just doing a simple stitch along there, and then you're just sewing it along that edge there. So that's all I'm going to do now to finish that off, and then this will be ready. Okay, so there you are. There's our dress all taken up, beautiful, all ready for the ball. Okay, hope that's helped you. Thank you very much for watching all our videos, Deriton 33.